All right, guys, we got to talk about popular streamer Aiden Ross because Aiden Ross is in a little bit of trouble right now. And that trouble stems from a man who recently went viral named Lieutenant Dan. Now, for those who don't know who Lieutenant Dan is, basically he is a homeless guy who owns a boat who went viral for basically saying he is refusing to evacuate the town of Tampa, Florida, in anticipation of Hurricane Milton. As most of you guys know, Hurricane Milton, it already happened. It did a lot of damage. It wasn't as bad as previously reported, which is a good thing. I'm happy to hear that. But it still was bad, and a lot of the certain local municipalities in that area were told to evacuate. Lieutenant Dan did not. He went viral for it because people just couldn't believe that this guy not only was refusing to evacuate, but he thought that the smartest thing he could do was stay in his boat to shield himself from the hurricane, which not the best idea. But anyway, so this guy goes viral. Yes, he did survive. Nothing happened to him. He completely survived the hurricane. And because of the newfound fame that he got from going viral, he ended up getting on a stream with Aiden Ross. During this stream with Aiden Ross basically offered the guy $100,000 or $100,000 boat, whatever it is. And he also offered him a Kick deal, basically saying, hey, we'll get you a deal with Kick. You can start streaming. You can make some money because this guy is legit famous now. Like, people go on YouTube and TikTok to check for this man as well as Twitter. Like, he's legit famous. It's almost like the Hawk Tua thing. Like the girl who got famous for saying the whole Hawk Tua, whatever. It's the same thing. This guy is going completely viral for something stupid, just to be honest, for deciding to stay on his boat in the middle of a massive hurricane. Anyway, here's some of the video of what Aiden Ross said to the guy when he got him on his stream. Here we go.
We were able to come up. I'm going to be able to pay for a boat for you. We're going to get you a nice boat in the range of $50,000 to $100,000. And we're going to get you a full-time Kick deal, which is a live streaming deal where you can stream your entire voyages and all your adventures. And you could have a passive income come in. And you're going to be, you're going to have a Kick deal, man, a live streaming deal. So you could live stream and connect with fans all over the world, and they could really see your adventure, man.
Wow. Thank you.
It's gonna be insane.
I mean that from, I don't know what else to say other than thank you. And bless you all.
Okay, so obviously, I mean, the guy was so shocked at what he had just been told, he didn't even know how to react, which I could completely understand. You go from being homeless for literally the last decade to your entire life changing because you decided that you didn't want to evacuate in the middle of a hurricane. Like, that's pretty much what happened to this guy. However, things took a turn when the internet did what the internet does. They researched and dug into this man's past, and they discovered some very interesting things about Lieutenant Dan's past, which, by the way, Lieutenant Dan is not his real name. His name is not Dan, and he's not a lieutenant. I'm not sure why people call him that. I'm not sure where that came from, but he did make that very clear in the stream that he never served in the military, and his name is not Dan. His name is actually Joe. And so with Joe here, who was called Lieutenant Dan, the internet did what they do. They looked up this guy's past, and it actually turned out that Lieutenant Dan spent 6 months behind bars for allegedly punching a police officer, and Lieutenant Dan was also arrested in 2023 over allegations that he tried to set a woman on fire with gasoline. And it's also being reported that right now, Lieutenant Dan has an October 2024 court date in a dispute over whether that sailboat is even legally his. So definitely an interesting criminal history with this guy. And because of that criminal history that got uncovered, this actually led to people basically saying that Aiden Ross is no longer going to give him the Kick deal. Aiden Ross is no longer going to give him the 100K. And there's a lot of backlash, and people are mad at Aiden Ross, and they're like, you better not give this guy anything. He's a terrible person. His criminal history, blah, blah, blah. And so what happened was a female TikToker caught up with Lieutenant Dan to break the news to him that Aiden Ross is no longer giving him the 100K or the kick deal, which, by the way, that's not even true. Aiden Ross never actually said that. That's just a rumor that started on Twitter that people are running with. But anyway, a female TikToker went to Lieutenant Dan and broke this news to them, and here's how that went. Here's the video.
Feel about Aiden Ross telling you he not getting you a boat no more?
He came to me. I never went to him. He offered it to me. I never asked for it. So then he turned around and he starts saying about my history. Well, you should have did that before you made the offer. You know, if you're worried about your image and who you have working for you, you should have done your due diligence and looked me up before you made me an offer of $100,000 sign-on bonus and $50,000 a month with a $100,000 boat. And I'm going to let you go because I don't care about that. So I'm going to tell you
He
this.
took the money away too?
Huh?
He took the $100K?
Took that, as far as I know, everything.
Oh, wow.
You know, and that's the thing. I mean, I didn't ask you for it. You offered it. I agreed to do what you asked me to do. You asked me to be on Kick 100 hours a month. I agreed. I said, no problem. I'll do it. I'm down for that. We agreed, and then all of a sudden, the next thing I hear and see on the internet is how you're disgusted with my history and that deal is done.
So what about your history that disgusts him so bad? Because we all got a history. Nobody closet clean.
I went to prison. I did jail time. But I have to tell you point blank, God to my soul, I'm innocent of all the charges. I was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer. He said I punched him in the nose. I never even saw the cop. He beat the hell out of me from behind. And then I went to prison for a year and a day on a battery on a Leo charge. And I never even saw him. But the thing is this, is where karma and God are real.
Okay, so that is Lieutenant Dan's response to the entire thing. Now, Aiden Ross actually came out with a response himself. He is very upset about people going after him, and rightfully so, because he apparently didn't actually say anything. So here's what he said. This is his second account, this AR-15, the Demon. This is Aiden Ross's second Twitter account. He said, bro, what did I do wrong? I also never said I was taking any deals away. Twitter yet again lied on my name. I only reacted to his past charges. I never said I wasn't going to not follow through. I'm in a weird position now. What are you guys' thoughts? So basically, Aiden Ross is in a position where he says that he did a live stream. He reacted to all the past criminal charges with this guy, and obviously he didn't like it for obvious reasons. However, at the same time, he never said that he was going to completely take this guy's deal away. But I think that people kind of felt like he was because of the way that he reacted to the new allegations or whatever, the guy's criminal history, in his latest live stream or wherever he, reacted to the whole thing. And now Aiden Ross is in a situation now where he has no idea what to do. He's even asking his own followers on Twitter, like, hey, what should I do? This guy has a criminal history. Here's the main problem. The problem is, and this is the hard part about being a celebrity or a content creator or whatever, when it comes to the life of being a celebrity or a big politician or any sort of person of some sort of fame or notoriety, whatever, you're always in a situation where whatever decision you make, for the most part, you are damned if you do, you are damned if you don't. In this situation right here, no matter which option he chooses, he's going to piss off 50% of his audience. If he doesn't give the guy the money, 50% of his audience is going to be pissed, and they're going to be like, oh, the charges weren't that serious. He already did his jail time. You're punishing him again, blah, blah, blah. And if he does give him the money, well, then the other 50% of the audience is going to say you're a horrible person. He tried to burn a woman. He hit a police officer. You just did a live stream with Trump. I thought you support police officers. Like, it really is a sad situation with this stuff, because it's like, what do you do? Like, seriously, what do you do? Because honestly, I don't know. I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you what he should do, whether he should give the guy the money or not. But here's one thing I can tell you. This Lieutenant Dan guy has gone, like, overly viral. Like, I would be surprised if you watching this video have not heard of him by now. He's all over Twitter. He's all over TikTok. He's all over YouTube. Even the mainstream media is talking about this man. News Nation had him on their news channel to talk about the fact that he's just going to stay in his boat during a hurricane. So even if he doesn't get the 100K and all the deals from Aiden Ross, I really think he'll be fine. He just needs like some young person to just come and show him, get the guy a cell phone if he doesn't have one, show him how to use TikTok or YouTube or whatever. He'd be just fine. Start a Twitch or whatever. This guy, I think this guy is famous enough where he'll be okay. I think the only thing that probably would hurt him would be the the criminal history. I think that would be the difference between him and Hawk Tuah. I think the Hawk Tuah girl, she's got like this big team behind her now. I don't know if he would get a huge team behind him now because of the criminal history, but I definitely think that he could still take advantage of this new fame that he's got and take advantage of that momentum and ride that for as long as he can. So, yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. But, yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on this interesting drama with Aiden Ross and this Lieutenant Dan guy. And let this be a lesson. Stop being so quick and thirsty to offer people money and stuff. That's what these streamers try to do now. I don't know if you guys noticed, but what these streamers will do now is whoever the next new viral person is or thing, they'll immediately flock to that and try to get them on stream. And once they do that, they'll immediately start, hey, I'll offer you this, I'll give you that. Like they're just trying to jump on the bandwagon. That's all they're doing. And in this case with Aiden Ross, it backfired on him. And so, yeah, you should not be quick to jump on the bandwagon and offer people money and offer people things without doing some sort of due diligence. I think this is an important lesson for Aiden Ross to learn. So, yeah. Anyway, that's today's video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.